I'm Rachel Scoltock, Angel Medium, and today I'm talking to you. I'm going to be giving you some great hints as to how you can get really clear, detailed guidance from the angels and to make your life better. You know, it's not just about being spiritual and having a nice sign every now and then. Actually tapping into that guidance that is there for you so that you can take great strides in your life towards your heart's desires and your highest intentions, and always making sure that those steps that you're taking are on the path that is the right path for you, that is the path of peace, is the path of abundance, is the path of your highest good, and is leading you exactly where you want to go. So this is really important stuff, right? And some of this is all of this is what I teach in my bigger programs like Angel Communication and Awaken Your Soul Gifts. But what I'm noticing a lot recently is that people are coming to me with questions on Instagram and Facebook and email, and they're asking me to validate the signs that they're getting, or is it real, or is this really a sign that I'm to do to make this big decision? And of course, I can't answer all of those questions, just through DMs, because I spend all my life on the messengers, but on the messaging systems. But I can teach you through these lives and through my classes where we go more in depth about how to recognize your guidance, how to ask for it, how to make sure that you're asking the right questions and that you're not overriding your real intuition. Because it's so easy sometimes to get swayed and go off track. So that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about today. I'll just see who's online. Hi, everybody. They've changed the format here on Facebook Live, so it's a little bit harder to see the comments. I'm sure they'll show up in a second. And we've got really dodgy internet at the moment over on the mid-north coast. They're doing some work, Telstra are doing some work, and we've got zero phone and mobile phone, and the internet's a bit patchy. So let me know that you can hear me okay. Let me see if I can find those comments. Where are they? No, can't see them. Can't see them. Okay, I'm going to trust that you're there. All right. So Angel Monday is all about getting the guidance for the week ahead. So let's start with a little centering exercise to call in the angels. I will shuffle the cards, bring through the guidance, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about how you can recognize true guidance when it comes. So we're going to be working with your guardian angels, the Archangel Michael and the Archangel Metatron this week. And Metatron is the angel of the month for December. So I'll be telling you more about him next week. And of course, next week is the Archangel Metatron Violet Light Ascension Attunement. So you can join me for that 90-minute session next Friday, the 10th of December. That's really exciting. I'm looking forward to it. So make yourself comfortable, make your back straight as possible. Take a long, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, just to relax. And just visualize this beautiful stream of white light surrounding your body. This is a column of white light that links you permanently and endlessly to the divine source. And of course, the source is the divine light, is the connection that you have to your soul. And that is where the angels come from. So take a moment to tap into that light that surrounds you. And as you breathe, start to soften into that light, to feel more connected with the divine love, the peace, the healing that is coming from the source and from the angels that surround you. And that will just calm your nervous system down and make you more open to the guidance and insights, the messages that the angels are bringing you this week, and also that are going to come through me from the angels. Isn't that beautiful? And as you do that, I'm going to ask for and invite the presence of Archangel Michael. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for stepping into this shower of divine light with everybody present and in the replay. Thank you for protecting everyone who wants to be protected by your violet light this week. Thank you for helping everyone to be receptive to their divine guidance, to be able to follow the steps to transform their lives for their highest good, and to connect in with their angels and their intuition every step of the way. Thank you for providing protection on all levels, physically, psychically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and in every way that is needed. Thank you for uplifting everyone's vibration so that they can connect with you and also be able to rise above the fear energy and the ego in the world. And I also invite Archangel Metatron, thank you Archangel Metatron, for working with Archangel Michael and the Divine Spirit for bringing through messages this week for everyone who is present. Thank you Metatron for always working to keep our vibration high and to protect us against low vibrational energy and to keep our consciousness attuned to our spiritual selves and the paradigm of love, abundance, peace, and our spiritual truth, the spiritual laws. Amen. So thank you, angels, for working through me and with me today to bring through guidance for everybody here, everyone who will be watching later. Whew, that was nice. I can see so many of you. I can find the comments now. Hi, Paula. Hi, Tracy and Carol and Jen and Kathy. Thanks, Paula. Paula says, I have to share with you and everyone that the private reading is becoming more and more spot on. I'm so happy to read that. I'm so excited for you, Paula. Thank you for saying that publicly. You know, yeah, doing readings is one of my favorite things to do. And sometimes I recognize that people, you know, many of the people that come to me are sensitive, and so, you know, not many people give reviews, not because they don't want to say thank you, they tell me privately, but they don't want them shared publicly because they're private people. So it's always really useful when people let other people know that they enjoy my reading. So Archangel Michael, what guidance do you have for us this week with the help of Metatron? All right, so as we're breaking into December, I'm seeing this, literally the violet light coming forward. And it's just like when you see a sunrise, you know, at first you start to see the light peak above the horizon, and then it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And that's what they're showing me going from now all the way through December, that the light is going to intensify. And there's this peaking effect happening on the 21st of December, which is an important day. And so one of the messages is really hold on to that light and don't be put off by all the paradigms of fear that are out there at the moment. The reason there is so much fear in the world, you know, the fear that we're encountering on the news and things like that, you know, sometimes we have to be informed, but we don't have to be bombarded. So the reason that we're encountering fear and ego in so many people at the moment is because we're on a fast track, university level spiritual learning. We're on a course and we're learning all about fear, and we're learning how to deal with it and to not be sucked into the illusion of the nightmare illusion of fear. So if you can look at this period as being like, I'm going to focus on the light. I'm going to focus on what I want to create, what I want to manifest in my life. I'm going to work with my angels, my guides, my intuition, the divine source, and I'm going to create my own divine reality, you know, to interact with the material reality. But I'm not going to be distracted while I'm building on that by the illusions of fear that are happening around the world. So this is really important. So the angels are showing me this, that the sun rising, but it's the light coming in, and this intensity of light, just, it's like going on a detox. Have you ever gone on a dietary detox? And you start to feel a bit crap for the first few days because you get a headache, maybe your skin breaks out, maybe you just really, all your thoughts get a bit rampant. And that's just the negativity coming to the surface to be cleared. So when something happens, you know, that we can't deny, you know, it's real stuff happening in the world, that we don't have to get sucked down a vacuum of fear because of it. We just have to do our work. You know, we have to look after our physical bodies, but we also have to look after our spiritual bodies. So not to get caught up in the illusion of fear, because on that horizon image I'm getting, it's like a little grey cloud, but that's all it is. It's a grey cloud. So I love that. Let's move forward with what the cards say. So how can you identify those grey clouds showing up in your life at this time? You know, like the news is talking about a new strain of the COVID thing. Well, that's something that, you know, we have to be aware of, but we don't have to go into panic and fear about it. We don't have to start creating worst case scenarios or letting our ego take over when it comes to things like that. That we have to be safe. Okay. Thank you, Archangel Michael. When Archangel Michael starts talking through me, I just have to speak. You might have noticed. All right, so he is giving us 4 cards, and he's asking me to pull another one in a second. So let's go with the first card. Now, we had this one last week, but in a different position. It's now in the present situation rather than in the guidance position. This is the 6 of Gabrielle. Now, I've used this deck probably 15 times between last Monday and this Monday, so don't think it's on the top and it's come up for this reason. So this is showing that we're coming to the end of a challenge. You're coming to the end of something that has been a hard battle, but you're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So thinking about this on an individual lesson, individual situation, this is a really strong card for you. It's asking you to finish the year strong, to tie off the loose ends that need to be tied off, to stay optimistic, you know, be excited about what is coming and what is manifesting for you. Get, you know, understand that sometimes when we have a little period of emptiness, and the daily reading that I do on Instagram and Facebook said this yesterday, that we're kind of in a gap. So you might be finding yourself in this space of like wanting to get to the end of the year, want to just get into 2022 and have a new energy, wanting to rest, or wondering what's going to happen next, you know, feeling that gap. So sometimes that happens because you finished something, but you haven't manifested the next thing. So you're kind of in the pause. Sometimes it's just a natural pause and the angels are saying, have a rest, right? But at the same time, this is encouragement for you to finish the job, right? So if you haven't done, I don't know, if you got the last few chapters to write in your book, you need to get your accounts in order. You need to finish packing if you're moving house. You know, it's all of those things where you might just go, oh, I just feel like having a rest. Have that rest, but be focused on finishing. So this is a wonderful card. This is a really positive card for the week. It's giving you the energy to move through and to get ready for what is to come next. Do you like that? I like that a lot. So then we have the 8 of Michael, one of my favorite cards in this deck, because it denotes freedom. It's really giving you, you know, it's letting you know that in any way that you feel limited or blocked, which fits really well with the theme today of guidance, you know, the gates are unlocked, the chains have fallen away. Archangel Michael is with you, for goodness sake. You can't fail. And you can be free. So think about the things that are in your, you know, the pile of limitations. You know, I feel blocked because I feel held back. I feel like I've got no choices. I feel like these people are holding me down. What's in that pile for you of limitation, blocks? What is in there? Because the Archangel Michael is here to help you through those things. And some of those things are actually an illusion. They're an illusion made up by your ego. So you might think, oh, I'm not good enough, or no one would want me, or no one wants what I've got to sell, or it's already been done before, or whatever, you know, the excuses our ego makes up. Here, Archangel Michael's showing you that your illusions are not real. The chain holding the gate together has fallen away. So those silly things that we focus on, imposter syndrome, not feeling good enough, feeling unworthy, seeing yourself as small and incapable and powerless, are all just illusions of the ego. And the ego is very convincing sometimes, right? It's like watching a horror film and then you go to bed and you're kind of shaking under the covers, right? It's not that there is something under the bed. It's not that there is someone in the cupboard. It's just that your ego is creating, your fear mind is creating illusions. And it does that in the most ordinary, boring things. And so because they're not monsters under the bed, we believe them, like the stories that you tell yourself. So how does that resonate with you? How can you unlimit yourself? Because the minute that you stop believing in those stories is the minute that the doors open. You start to see possibilities instead of limitations. So this is Archangel Michael saying, have courage and have faith and start making decisions to free yourself. What is it that you really want that you've been telling yourself you can't have? He's right there with you because you are in charge of your reality. You are in charge of your reality. You don't have to dip into the fears of other people. You don't have to go there. You actually have a choice every single time. I posted a great meme that I shared from Erica's page, Erica Bell's page this morning on my main page, on my personal page, which shows an empty room. And it says, all the people in this, if you're worried about what other people think of you, just look at this picture. It's a picture of an empty room. All the people in this room are not paying your bill. It's a way of saying no one else is paying your bills. No one else is going to be in your body. No one else is walking your path that you're walking. So that means that no one has an influence over. No one has the right to discourage you or put you down or undermine you, including your ego, right? Okay, the next card is the outcome, and this is new beginnings. So I can feel the energy of this reading today is really pushing us towards the end of the year. It's not encouraging you to live out of the moment and skip December because there's too much good stuff coming for you. But you can use the time you have and be very present to build on your dreams and desires and create the things that you want and put distance between you and the things that you don't want or don't like or are complaining about in your life, or you're feeling are limitations. So this is a sign of you having a brand new, fresh beginning. It's like a completely fresh landscape. The angel is blessing you and your plans, your desires, your loved ones. It's really saying you're safe. It's okay. And this is also a sign about finding your purpose and having those big aha moments about what you need to do to move forward. So what it looks like is the block is about freeing yourself from limiting beliefs, behaviors, thoughts, people, circumstances. So what is that for you? The extra card, this is a bit more guidance actually. And this is the Emperor, Archangel Uriel, who I'm freshly in love with after the Uriel attunement that we did a few weeks ago. And he's giving you a little bit of a hint here. It's about bringing the unstable and the uncertain and the insecure into stability again, being able to get grounded and really create a plan. Get busy on doing, sometimes it's the obvious, it's the boring stuff, right? And spiritual people sometimes don't like the boring stuff. It's too mundane, it's too grounded. I want to be up here with the angels. I don't want to be down there doing the groundwork. But actually, you need a bit of both in order to make things work. Your intuition will sharpen up so much more, your connection with your angels, when you're grounded, because you are in physical body. So if you go out of your body, you're scattered, you're unfocused, you're open to interference. You're like a leaf in the wind. You can be blown away by other people's behaviors and opinions and criticisms of you. So he's encouraging you to think big, but to also build from the ground up. And I love the saying, you've heard me say it before, grow where you are. So don't feel like you have to wait until you've got XYZ before you can begin on your dreams. You know, people do that, and that's an ego bypass, by the way, is that we say, all right, when I get this is when I will do what I want to do with my life. And that can steal your life. It can steal your dreams away from you because you're always pushing everything into the future. So this is Uriel saying, bring it into the now moment. What can you do today? What can you do this week? What can you do with the money you have, with the technology you already have? You know, what can you do now? Start that, because then you'll really feel like you're living. You'll really feel like you're moving, and you'll get out of stuckness. Hi, Cecilia. Hi, Ida. They are great cards, aren't they? Happy birthday for the 21st, Tracy. Yay. That's the, you know, it's always a big date, isn't it? Astrologically. So I was going to talk to you about the, you know, the guidance, getting guidance from your angels. And so this is a little bit of an extra for you today. So as I said earlier, lots of people ask me, like, how do I bring my dreams into fruition? How can I tell if that sign is really a sign and not just a coincidence, or I'm not just making things up in my head? And it is true, like sometimes we do make things up in our heads, and we can sometimes manipulate guidance, signs, and what we think is our intuition to something that we want it to be rather than what it really is. And this does happen sometimes, and it's good to be aware of it, because if you're aware of it, then you will know the difference when you get your true guidance. So, you know, who here has had an experience where you followed what you thought was synchronicity and signs, and it's not led you to what you wanted? It's led you to something you didn't want, or it's, you know, the most common thing in this situation, and in my own experience, has been relationships. So you've been putting out to the universe that you want to meet someone, and you're ready for your soulmate, you want your soulmate, and you're putting this prayer out into the universe. Now, what is useful to know is that the law of attraction is the universe reflecting to you what you're feeling, what you're thinking. It's a little bit like Google, right? We know sometimes when we like start thinking about, I really want a pair of new shoes, and all of a sudden you've got all these shoe ads coming up on your when you're doing Google searches or on your Instagram feed. The law of attraction, the Google reflects the energy of the universe when you start to put out for something that you want. So these can be good signs because it shows you that what you want is on its way to you. But it doesn't mean that every single thing that shows up is the thing that you're looking for. So you have to practice discernment. You have to practice going a bit deeper into your intuition, right? We don't want to make big decisions based, you know, life-changing decisions just based on a quick, oh, I got a feather, I'm going to marry him. Do you know what I mean? He must be my soulmate. Like, it takes a while to figure out if someone is your soulmate, right? You have to get to know them. You have to go through the process. You have to go through times of stress together and figure out. You can't decide just on, you know, synchronicity and some rainbows and some feathers. So this is a really good thing to know, is that the universe will reflect like attracts like. It will start to send you potential soulmates. You might start seeing more hearts and heart-shaped clouds or heart-shaped rocks. You might start connecting with more other people that are in soulmate relationships. And all those things are a little bit like when you go to sea, and if you're on a boat and you're coming close to land, you start to see sticks and leaves and birds, because it's a sign. Those sticks and leaves are a sign that you're getting closer to land. They're not land. You're not going to jump off the boat onto a stick and go, I'm on Earth, I'm on land. you don't, because you just know it's a sign that you're getting closer. And so some of the things when you start to put out to the universe, some of the signs you see, the coincidences, the synchronicities, are just that. They're just signs that you're getting closer. And as Florence Scovel Shinn, my favorite Florence Scovel Shinn quote, she was a New Thought teacher about creating abundance in the 1920s, is that when you're waiting for your ship to come in, don't jump on a canoe. So I have jumped on many a canoe in my time, especially in my romantic life, where you go, oh, looks right, seems right, turned up at the right time, wasn't right. When you get a bit closer, when you do a bit of research, when you've spent a bit of time with someone, you realize that situation isn't right for me. So it's really worth knowing that sometimes not every sign is telling you what you think it's telling you. So your ego signs will encourage you to rush. Your ego will encourage you to override what your intuition is really telling you and ignore. So it uses a rainbow or a feather or a synchronicity as a spiritual bypass and go, okay, I don't need to go deeper. I don't need to think about this. I don't need to learn anymore. I don't need to listen to the red flags because I've seen a feather, right? So there's a little bit of a clue for you how sometimes when we're not being 100% honest with ourselves and we really, really want something to be true, that we ignore what our actual intuition is telling us, and our angels are there going, no, don't do it, don't marry him, and is you're going to push yourself towards your desire rather than listen to what your intuition and your guidance are telling you. So when you start to work with the angels, when you're manifesting, you're praying for healing, you're praying for something to change or to be different in your life, the way your angels will work is to drop you signs, for sure, to acknowledge you, to reflect that they've heard you, to let you know that you're supported. But they will also drop you guidance. And guidance is detailed, it's clear, and it matches your desire, and it feels right to your intuition, because the angels use your intuition to speak with you. So that's why I love working with angels. It's actually a very practical thing to work with your angels on anything that you're doing, because they lead you one simple step at a time towards your intentions and your desires and your highest good. And it's always the path of peace. It's not the path of drama. It's not the path of this will do, or I'll just have to put up with this, or have to ignore all these screaming red flags in order to have my desire. It's not that at all. That's one of the signs of trusting true guidance, is to it leads you on the right peaceful path to your desired outcome, which is for your highest good, not the desires of your ego. So I hope that clarifies for you a little bit. Now I'm writing an article today, a blog today, so go over to my website, sign up for my newsletter on the Free Angel Library page, and I'm going to be giving you a checklist, which is much longer than I can speak about today, about guidance versus fake guidance or fake signs. And really, trusting that your intuition. I see so many people at the moment that because they're swamped and overwhelmed by fear messages, made by people with low agendas, people who use you as clickbait, people who are trying to forward a negative, horrible agenda in the world, who are sending you the message that your thinking is your intuition, but it isn't. And, I really want to teach people the difference between true guidance and fake ego fear guidance. And, people who are trying to trick you or con you will always put time pressure on you. They're always trying to force you, so that you don't listen to your intuition. They will, give you horrible worst case scenarios, like horrendous ideas that really, those kind of ideas are only what the lower self, ego self can make up. And they are fears. They're not true. They're not real. So Tracy says, funny you say that. My dad was standing on my wedding dress and I wasn't able to walk down the aisle at first. It was definitely a sign looking back. Yes, but you can't buy that kind of wisdom, can you, Tracy? Like, I think, you know, I had a similar situation when I got married. There was a funeral procession in the street, and my fiance at the time, you know, was saying things like, you can't invite your family to the wedding. I don't want them there. And he didn't even take his coat off. You know, there were so many signs, red flags, that I was ignoring at that time. We're talking, you know, 20 odd years ago. I was ignoring at the time, and I was looking at things like dolphins and butterflies and rainbows as being the sign that everything would be okay, while the red flags were madly waving. But you can't hold on to shame or beat yourself up about that. I'm not beating myself up about that anymore, because that's valuable. It's valuable wisdom that you just can't buy. No amount of money could buy that. So in the end, everything works out for our highest good, right? Because we learn. And there's always, if you're in a situation where you're like, oh, I made a mistake, I wish I hadn't done that, stop and say, I look forward to the good that is coming out of this. And then call on your angels to guide you back to your true path. And they are waiting with no judgment and absolute, you know, love and joy, just wanting to guide you back to your highest good. And they're with you the whole time. They never abandon you. They never judge you. They never put you down or roll their eyes. They're there for you. And they love you, right? And they know that this is a duality that we live in. And as the Archangel Michael said earlier, we're learning about fear and how to manage it, and how to know what is fear and what is truth, and to really trust our intuition. And that way we start to master life, and that's really important. So sending you lots and lots of love and angel blessings. Don't forget, next week, it's only 12 days away, I think, the Archangel Metatron Violet Light attunement. So that's only $47 for you to join. It's a 90-minute session. I'm going to take you through a guided healing attunement with Archangel Metatron, which is massive, really powerful. It will clear out lower energies and raise your vibration to a very high level, and you'll be able to receive guidance during that session. So I'll put the link in the comments so you can check that out a little bit later and see if that's something that you feel guided to attend. So I'm sending you love, and I will see you next Monday or tonight on the Instagram live at 5:30 p.m. Sydney time. You can join me again. All right, take care.